So this is a BMW 740D. And not even 10 years ago, this represented the pinnacle of executive transport. So this is what we're going to be comparing it to, a Skoda Superb. It's taken less than 10 years from BMW's absolutely best foot forward at the time, carbon fibre, all sorts of stuff in there, to bring us to a place where this car offers similar levels of comfort. Behind me is a BMW 740D xDrive. It's a 2017 model. And it's not just a 740D, it's my 740D. And less than 10 years ago, this car represented the absolute pinnacle of what BMW could offer you. And adjusted for inflation today, this car would cost €155,000. And the real question I'm going to ask today is, do you still need to spend that to get this type of experience? And the reason I bought this 740D was because I, in a previous life, was a car dealer, and I sold my car dealership less than a year ago. And for the first time in my adult life, I had to have one car, effectively. I didn't have access to a load of cars to choose from. So I had to be logical. I had to think about what my family needs, the type of stuff we do, my new position. I was going to be driving a lot. So I settled on a 740D because I wanted the economy, I wanted the refinement, and I knew they were quite reliable. The one thing, though, about this 740 is I chose this logically, and I didn't expect to like it as much as I have. And over the 7-8 months I've owned it, I've actually started to really fall in love with it. It's like my favourite old pair of shoes. We got a 3-litre straight six up the front, twin turbo, 320 brake horsepower, 680 newton meters of torque, 8-speed gearbox, 4-wheel drive. It's a serious bit of kit. And at the time you could buy a hybrid version of these things. And I had a couple of them in my dealership experience, and that had an 8 kilowatt hour battery with only 6 usable. And if you compare that now to something like a Superb has 25.9 kilowatts of battery, and it really shows you how fast things have moved on in less than 10 years. You see, this car comes from a different era. Even though it's launched in 2016, they're developing it 10 years prior. They're using all the learnings from the old sort of way of designing cars to make this work. And what they did to get around the physics of a giant car like this was they just threw engineering at it. And that was the older way of doing stuff. They don't have to do that anymore. And the other problem with that kind of thinking in cars was it came with a huge penalty in terms of weight. Now, this is the short wheelbase version of the car, but it still has all that presence. It still takes up a lot of room and it still feels substantial. It's a proper car. But your so-called normal segment cars, they're catching up. Like, they're not a million miles away anymore in terms of their size. Part of the reason why I love this car is the way it drives. It's just effortless. Like, it's super smooth, it's silky smooth, it's really isolating. The outside world is the outside world's problem. We're on a concrete piece of road now. You know, one of those ones that goes gadunk, 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 gadunk every time you move down it. It's just lovely and quiet, refined, smooth. It's fantastic. And it does clever things too. Like, this car has adaptive suspension. So the gearbox and the suspension actually use the sat-nav to set up corners and stuff. It knows when it's coming to a corner, so it selects the right gear, and it knows to stiffen up the driver's side because we're going to go into a left turn, just to keep everything utterly flat and smooth and just silky to drive. Now, with all of those systems in place, this car really presses on. Like, you can really lean on it. It handles super well. It inspires you to, like, give it a hard time through the corners. Like, it creates a lot of confidence. But every now and then, we'll go into a corner and there's a bump or a pothole the car's not expecting, and it catches it out. 99% of the time the systems work, but when they don't, you're really quickly reminded of the physical weight of this car. Because to make this car do all that stuff, they have added those systems, as we spoke about. But those systems are complex, and complex systems add a lot of weight. But it's up here doing this. This is where I fell in love with this car. This is where this car went from being a sensible choice to something I just love. I do a lot of mileage. I spend a lot of time Dublin to Drogheda, Dublin to Galway, Cork. I can go anywhere. My wife's from Waterford. We spend a lot of time doing that sort of stuff. Up at 120k, I'm barely having to speak. Well, I'm not really having to raise my voice at all. I'm speaking it the way I always speak. There's little to no intrusion into the cab in terms of noise. Comfort Plus mode is on our suspension, and it's like a magic carpet. It just devours miles. And it makes long drives, like really long drives. It just makes them completely effortless. It makes them so smooth. You can drive to Cork in this car, and I often do, and I get out of it as fresh as I got into it. I turn on my massage function on the seats if I'm feeling a wee bit stiff on the way down, and I just settle back and let the car take care of the journey. So this is what we're going to be comparing it to, a Skoda Superb. It's taken less than 10 years from BMW's absolutely best foot forward at the time, carbon fibre, all sorts of stuff in there, to bring us to a place where this car offers similar levels of comfort, similar levels of refinement, similar levels of tech and spec, but it also does it for less than an equivalent third of the price of what that would cost you new today. And that brings you around to the question of, do you have to spend that kind of money anymore to get this kind of refinement? And the answer is I don't honestly know yet. So this is the Lauren and Kelman edition Skoda Superb, and it's basically the highest spec one you can get. 2-litre TDI in this one, 7-speed DSG automatic gearbox, but instantly you're comfortable in here. Like, the seating position's fantastic. The layout and design is absolutely beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. It's actually got a better infotainment screen than the BMW has. But it's comfy, it's refined, it's quiet. Ironing out bumps fantastically. This is a nice car. Like, straight away you're into something familiar, and this is like, close the door of the BMW and get into this. And it is giving that feeling quite quickly. So taking the Superb out onto these kind of B roads, country roads as we call them in Ireland, and it's really good fun. Like, it behaves itself. The suspension's great in it. It's in that perfect sweet spot between overly stiff and overly soft. Like, so it actually handles, it clings on. You can throw it into a corner and it does its thing. Power levels are great in there too. Like, that 7-speed DSG gearbox, in my opinion, is a work of art. It makes anything it's in feel like it's got 50 to 100 horsepower more than it does, because it's so clever. And it's doing the same stuff that the BMW did. It's using the adaptive suspension, and it's using the pre-select for the gears via its actual navigation maps to set it up for corners. So it makes the car feel really like sprightly. It's a good, fun thing. It's an engaging car to be in on these kind of roads. Good crack. So now onto the motorway, and it's behaving itself impeccably here too. It really is. I've got the radar cruise control switched on. I've got the lane guidance switched on. We're in heavy Dublin traffic now, and if you've been in that, you'll know what I'm talking about. It's an awful thing on the motorway. But I'm not worried about it. I'm not having to like continuously watch everyone for the heavy brake and that kind of stuff. Car's doing all that. It's absolutely fine. Staying in lanes, car's doing all that. It's watching for people pulling into my lanes. Car's doing all that. It's able to emergency brake, do all that kind of stuff. Perfect. It's making it really relaxing to be in here. Second thing, the ride quality is excellent. It's fantastic now. This car has DCC on it. So it's doing, it's just ironing out bumps and creases and all that kind of stuff in the very same way that the BMW does with its adaptive cruise control. Like, with its adaptive suspension, should I say. It's working perfectly. It's a really nice place. And if you look at it through the prism of, you know, executive cars, this is a cheap car. This is not a cheap car. So let's like get that established straight off the bat. The type of price you pay for this, it's an expensive car. But through that prism of the like 100k plus things versus those things, it doesn't feel like you're not getting a whole lot less than you are in one of those things for the extra money you pay. The noise levels too in the car are fantastic, I have to say. They're really, really excellent. I wasn't expecting it to be this good, actually, because it's not quite there with the 7 Series, right? I won't lie. But I'd say it's a good 95% of the way there. When you get up to like your 120s and maybe slightly above, you do get a little bit more sort of road noise. But at this sort of speed, it's exactly the same. This is a fine car. This Skoda Superb is a serious bit of kit, to be fair to it. It does everything you ask of it, and it does it all well. It does every single thing you want it to do, it does properly. When you want it to just dawdle around in town like this, it does it perfectly. Irons out bumps, does all that stuff. It leans back on its suspension to iron out the potholes and all that kind of stuff. Does it really, really well. Put it into the twisties to have a bit of fun on the B roads, and it's spot on. It's really good crack. It's got plenty of power. It's a good fun thing to be in. Put it onto the motorway, and now that was a revelation. That was better than I thought it was going to be. It was so good on the motorway. Like, close to that 7 Series. Really, really was. Just super compliant. Dealt with bumps, undulations perfectly. Again, leaning back onto its tech. The quietness levels, the way it dealt with the sound levels in that car were absolutely spot on. Phenomenal. Really, really, really good. Way better than I expected them to be. So what you end up with is it's giving you a hell of a lot of what the BMW can offer you. It's doing the same thing with its suspension. It's doing the same thing with its gearbox, where it's clever and it's predictive is a good way to describe it. It's doing that. But it's doing it at a fraction of the cost, and B, it's doing it with a huge weight saving. In the BMW, those systems are complex. They solve those systems with engineering, and you get the fabulous car. But the complexity adds a lot of weight. 9 years down the road, they don't have to do that anymore. All of those things exist in here, except in this car, you get about a 500 kilo weight saving on that 7 Series. Then into the cab of the Superb, and just the general design and layout of this car. It's really, really nice. Everything you have to touch in this car is built of the highest quality materials. I promise you that. Anything that you come into contact with tactically just feels great. Really, really does. The leather is real leather. It's got that softness that only real leather has. The leather seats are real leather. Now, this being the Lauren and Kelmet, you expect that. But even if you opt for leather in the lower spec cars, they're going to be like this. It's a very interesting sort of proposition. The design and the sort of new school design language, I really like that. I really, really like that. Might prefer it maybe to the 7 Series. I'm not overly sure. But it's stuff like this big plinth screen. It's super fast. It's really good. That's definitely better. No doubt about it. But there is a time discrepancy in it. I love these digital clocks in here. They're completely adjustable. Put whatever way I want. I can make them whatever way I wanted it. This car even has cool seats. It's got ventilated seats in it here at this price point. But all the spec and lovely design choices, they're not this thing's huge party piece, to be fair to it. It's this. This seat has the easy access, easy entry thing on it. So basically it slid back about 3 inches from where I would sit generally. However, I've still got 8 inches of knee room in here, feet going to the seat. I have tons of room in here, and I'm 6'1", and I'm definitely taking up more than my fair share of space. But it's massive in here. It's a proper executive car when you get into the back of this thing. We get heated seats in the back too. We get our own power ports. We get our own climate controls. You're not forgotten about in here. This is a serious bit of kit. And you'll get this on a Superb, whether it's the Lauren and Kelmet or whether it's not. You're going to get all of this goodness in here anyway. So around to the back of the car too, and we get an electric tailgate. You'd expect that on a car like this, but that boot is colossal. 640 litres of usable boot space. That's more than double Volkswagen Golf's boot. It's a huge, huge space. The seats fold in it. You end up with about 1,800 litres of boot space, and it's actually large enough for an adult to lie down completely straight in the back of it. And I know because I've done it. It's making a really strong case for itself, this car. So the two cars that we compared, they're not an apples to apples comparison, and I know that, but I did it on purpose. Even the age gap between them, that's purposeful. That 9 years, which is a short amount of time, let's be honest, if you're my vintage or older, it's not a huge amount of time. But let me tell you, the distance between BMW's absolute flagship, best foot forward car that they can deliver to a Skoda Superb, that has closed exponentially. That BMW still, today, if you were to buy that new, it's still going to remain up around the 150k mark, 155 grand even, depending on spec. So it's still 3 times more expensive than this car. And is it 3 times better than it? Absolutely not. Not even close. This Superb is about 95% of the way there now, and it really, really is. It also would benefit from the fact that it's a much cheaper car to live with. It's a much cheaper car to run. It's going to depreciate at a much better rate than the 7 Series. I paid a fraction of the 155k for my one. Of course I did. I did that on purpose. Does the BMW remain a better car? Yeah. But it's that huge price discrepancy between them. Does this become the more sensible one to actually buy? And the answer to me is quite clearly yes.
For Great car reviews, proper car chat and more. Subscribe to the Car Site now.